Hello, let's talk about all the new books I got this month because I needed some new reading material for this winter, and after the horrifying experience that was reading Alchemized, which you can see in my previous video, I thought it was time for hopefully some good reads. The first book I have is Long Live Evil by Sarah Rees Brennan. I ran into this in the bookstore the other day, and I don't know what compelled me to pick this up because I really don't like this cover, but something about it called to me. And then I read it back and it just sounds so fun in like the worst way. It just sounds very camp. Let me explain it to you. This is about Ray, and she sort of falls into one of her favorite fantasy book series. But when she arrives in this fantasy world, she discovers she is not the hero of the story, but the villain. And then slowly, to save her life, she fully starts leaning into this villainous arc. And I already started this book. I read 60 pages. And the writing is so bad. It's so chaotic and messy, and I don't understand what is being said like half of the time. But I also just think this is going to be so fun. A lot of the reviews were like, I'm giving this 3 stars because I don't really know how I feel about it. Like, I fully see that everything about this book was so bad, and still I had the best time ever. And I love books like that. I have read a few books like that where I'm like, I objectively see this was horrible, and somehow I could not stop thinking about this book. I really hope this is going to live up to all of my campy, meta, just a good old ball of a time dreams. But I haven't read enough to fully judge yet, so let's see. The next book I found in the same bookstore, and it's The Cursed Friend by Beatrice Salvioni. And I picked this up in the first place because the title and the cover. I love a toxic friendship like nothing else. I don't know why, but literature about toxic friendships, I eat it up every time. So that was enough for me to pick this up. But then I read the back, and it says it is 1936 in the small Italian city of Monza. And that is where I live right now in Italy. So that's really fun because it's actually like a pretty small city, and I feel like it's not very well known except for the Formula One racetrack. So to know that there is a book that is set in this town, and it's also like a sort of toxic friendship situation type of book, is making me really excited. And also it just sounds so good. It says, on the pebbled bank of the Lambro, 2 frantic girls scramble to hide a body. A year earlier, Francesca, the respectable daughter of a bourgeois family, has found herself inexplicably drawn to Maddalena, the town's rebellious outcast known also as the Cursed One. When she one day tells a lie to save Maddalena, the split-second decision irrevocably binds the girls together. From this moment on, they will go to any length to protect one another, even if that leads to a terrible violence. Like, come on, that sounds like my perfect dream book. It's quite short, so I think I will get to it pretty soon. And yeah, I'm just really excited to read something that is not only set in the city that I live, but also very close to my actual house, because the Lambro, the river they talk about in this book, is really close to here. So that's fun. The next book I got is The Rules of Magic by Alice Hoffman. And this is part of the Practical Magic series. I don't exactly know which place this has in the series, but I believe you don't have to read the books in order. So you can just pick up whichever one you want. And this one tells the story of Franny and Jet, which are the 2 eccentric witchy aunts in Practical Magic. And they are obviously hands down the best characters in that book. So I'm really excited to get to their story and how they came to be. The best part about this book is that it's set in like the 60s and 70s, which sounds so fun. And the storyline is kind of that the 3 siblings, Franny, Jet, and Vincent, the brother, are not allowed to do magic growing up, but they start breaking the rules and discover who they truly are. That's what the back says. I'm going to go into this with an open mind. Like, Practical Magic is sort of a strange book for me in the sense that I love the movie so much that the book kind of doesn't live up to the expectations of the movie, which doesn't happen a lot. But I still love the atmosphere of the book a lot, so I'm very excited to see how this one is. And this one got recommended to me a lot, so I have a good feeling. Then I have a book with a gorgeous cover. It's The Keeper of Small Thing by Julie Leong. This is everything I dream of in a cozy fancy cover. This is the author of what was it called? The Teller of Small Fortunes. And I started that book on my e-reader once, but I couldn't really get into it. Like, there's a type of cozy fancy novel that is just too cozy and too low stakes for me. Like, literally nothing happens. Legends and Lattes is one of those books for me as well. And that one just had it too, so I didn't finish that one. But this one sounded really good, and the reviews also say that a lot of them thought it was much better than Teller of Small Fortunes, so that's making me very excited. This is about Certainty, and she is a novice for the Guild of Mages, and then she gets sent on a very non-important assignment together with the mage Aurelia, who is a brilliant, unfairly attractive overachiever who's managed to alienate everyone around her. And the two have to transport some minor magical artifacts to the town of Spelling, which is the dullest and least magical village around, and they have a very uneasy relationship with the guild because they don't get any magic from the guild. But as Certainty and Aurelia get to know the citizens of the town of Spelling better, they are starting to realize that maybe magic is much better when shared. A few things about this book sound so good to me. First of all, there is an unruly little cat dragon that is tagging along with them. I love a good animal sidekick. It's sapphic, of course, if you couldn't tell that already from the description. And it just sounds like there might be some found family with the friendships in this little town. So I'm very excited to read this. Next up, another cozy fantasy. This is called What Comes of Attending the Commoner's Ball. It's by Elizabeth Amy Brown. And this book is described as Cinderella meets Howl's Moving Castle, which sounds amazing. Howl's Moving Castle is one of my favorite cozy fantasy books. So anything being compared to that really makes me excited. It sounds really fun as well. It follows Hester Flanders, who has a farm but it's not doing too well, so she's very hungry, and because of that she decides to accept the invitation to the king's commoner's ball. But with accepting an invitation like that comes danger, because the king is one of the folk, and accepting anything from the folk might have dire consequences. So when one of the princes becomes obsessed with her, that might not be good news for her. I love any book that deals with the fairy folk in the way that they are described in the old folk tales. So they are like trickster people, you cannot accept any gifts from them because they might kidnap you into their world. Like a lot of fantasy books kind of forget that that is what the fairy folk was originally like. So I get really excited when there's a fantasy book that does have its origins in those myths. And also I just think this is going to be really funny. And the rating on Goodreads was very high, so that bodes well. Then I have something completely different. I have Coldwire by Chloe Gong. This is a cyberpunk dystopian YA novel, and I got this book because I am leading the book club for Everyone for the month of November, and this was the pick for this month. And this is the type of book I would probably never pick up on my own because I just don't read a lot of sci-fi stuff, but it's really fun to be challenged and go out of my comfort zone with this book because, you know, this is something I usually don't read and maybe I'll really love it. So very excited. I just started, so I'm only like 45 pages in, but I'm curious to see where the story is going. And also this book like hits so eerily close to home. Like it's not unrealistic to think that our world in a few years might look the same as it does in this book. So I'll quickly tell you what it's about. The world is divided in this book in down country, which is our real world, and up country, which is a virtual world where all people that can afford it just sort of spend all of their time basically, because the real world is just sort of flooded with natural disasters, pandemics, diseases, and so on. So everyone is spending their time in this upcountry world where everything is basically the same, except you cannot die, you cannot hurt yourself. So in that sense, things are a lot better. But unfortunately, there's a war raging between two countries. They're called Medaluo and Athua, if I pronounce that correct. And Nile Corp, which is the company that created the virtual world that everyone lives in, sort of rules over them all because they have all the power. And you follow two girls, Leah and Areli. And Areli is a soldier for Nile Corp and Leah is training to become one. And along the way, they discover that the virtual world they live in might not be the utopia that they believed it to be. So, like I said, that sounds very much like something that could actually happen in our world. Like, slowly we're already going that way, where a lot of us just live our lives on the internet. So I think this is going to be an interesting read with a lot of food for thought about the way we are living. The next book I got is Green Glass House by Katie Milford, and it's going to be a perfect read for around Christmas or just in winter. I think this is a middle grade novel. It just got randomly recommended to me on Goodreads and it sounded so fun that I wanted to try it, but upon getting it, I think this is middle grade, which is great. I love middle grade books. It's set in Green Glass House, which is a smuggler's inn, and it follows 12-year-old Milo, who is the innkeeper's adopted son. And it says here that he planned to spend his holidays relaxing, but on the first icy night of vacation, out of nowhere, the guest bell rings. Then rings again, and again. Soon Milo's home is bursting with odd secretive guests, each one bearing a strange story that is somehow connected to the rambling old house. This sounds very magical, cozy, like a perfect wintertime by the fireside read. And I cannot wait to get into it. I think it's also a series, so that's exciting. If I love this one, I can definitely continue with that. and it won the award for Best Juvenile Mystery. So very promising all around. And then the last book is the one I'm probably most excited about. It's called Sorcery and Small Magic by Maika Ducey. And this is about two rival sorcerers who must find a counterspell for the curse binding them together. It's again a cozy fantasy. I cannot get enough of this genre at the moment. I'm sorry guys, it's all you're gonna see on my channel. But it follows Leovander, who is a master of small magics, but then he gets into a magical accident and then he is compelled to always obey his longtime rival, Sebastian Grimm. They are complete opposites, they hate each other, and now Leovander has to do everything that Sebastian wants. Obviously they want to undo this curse as soon as possible, so chasing the rumors of a powerful sorcerer, Leo and Grimm enter the Unquiet Wood, forest teeming with murderous monsters and dangerous outlaws. To break the curse, they'll have to uncover the true depths of Leo's magic, set aside their animosity, and, much to their horror, work together, even as an odd spark of attraction flares between them. So this sounds perfectly magical. There's a gay enemies-to lovers romance, at least from the sound of it. So I am very excited for that. I'm now doubting if I'd not rather start this one first and just leave this one for a later time because I'm just so excited about this one. So I might just pick this one up very soon. But those were all the books I had for you today to talk about. Let me know if you've read any of these and what your thoughts were. In 2 days I'm going to Paris. I'm so excited. So I'll probably vlog a little bit there and take you guys along. So yeah, you can look forward to that video. Thank you so much for watching this one and I hope to see you soon. Bye!